Hey guys, it's me Dave and welcome back to another review. Today we have the very first LEGO Nightmare Before Christmas set. This is a part of LEGO Ideas, so this is like a fan submitted idea and it was accepted, and this has honestly been a highly anticipated LEGO Ideas set for 2024, and so people have been wondering what the final concept of the set looks like, and so far I think the fan community has been reacting quite positively, and that continues because you're getting 2,193 pieces with a retail price of $200 US. Now this is going to be released on September 3rd of 2024, not September 1st oddly. The set number is also 21351, and overall I am impressed with this set. Not only are you getting a pretty good price per piece ratio, but you're also getting a pretty good lineup of minifigures here. 8 in total. Santa Claus is even included with, of course, Jack Skellington and Sally, among other characters, including Zero the dog. LEGO made a brand new mold for him. Pretty wild, but what's notable is that Oogie Boogie is not in this set, which is also a pretty important character, so that's surprising that LEGO doesn't have it in this set. To my knowledge, I mean, we'll find out here in just a second, but he doesn't show up anywhere on the box. So with all that said, let's see if this set is worth that $200 price tag. I do want to thank LEGO for sending this set over for review, and let's go into the in-depth of the Nightmare Before Christmas set. So first up, there is a sticker sheet in this set, and thankfully it's pretty tame, not the worst I've seen. Next, we have this, well, cardstock. I'll leave it at that. I'm sure you know what it's for, but I gotta say this is a wild new quote-unquote LEGO piece. And I call it a LEGO piece because it has the official numbering from the LEGO system on it. And then next we have a little envelope here with a don't cut sign, and there's a reason for that. They house different capes which will be used within the set. And speaking of which, well, here it is, the Nightmare Before Christmas set. And I got to say, this is much better than I was expecting. This is a really solid set. But first, let's talk about the minifigures. First up is Jack Skellington. You'll notice that LEGO is utilizing the long legs and long arms. I think that was obviously the right choice for this type of character. We've gotten Jack Skellington before in the Disney CMF figure series, and this one is far better than that. Next, we have Sally here, which, as you can see next to Jack, is quite smaller, and she's also just as detailed as Jack. I gotta say, the details here are quite fantastic, dual-sided face. Then we have our trick-or-treaters, first of which being Beryl, fairly simple figure. Then we have the character Locke here in red, fairly simple as well. And finally Shock, who has this all kind of pinkish purple outfit. While some of these figures don't have printing, that is actually accurate to the characters from the movie. And next we have Santa Claus, and this is not the normal LEGO Santa you're used to. If we remove the beard, you'll see he has some candy corn under there, a lollipop on his back, different type of face, and I like the way this figure looks. Now next we have the mayor, and for some reason LEGO doesn't consider this a minifigure. While I understand that, to me he's definitely a figure, and I gotta say the printing and detail on this guy is pretty out of this world. It's really on point to the stop motion animation. On either side he has some plans as well as a megaphone, and then when you flip him around he does have a double-sided face. Last up is Zero the dog, and oh my god, the detail on this brand new molded figure has a little tiny LEGO styled pumpkin on his nose. Just those little details make this figure come alive. I love what LEGO's done here. Before we get onto the set, it is worth noting LEGO did include the walking bathtub from the movie, and you can use this for the trick-or-treaters. You can put Santa Claus in it. You can do whatever you want, but it is a funny little addition that they've included within the set. So now let's turn our attention to the actual set and look at all the different details, and there's a lot hiding beneath those walls. Now this is considered a 3-part diorama, meaning that there is 3 different sections. In fact, they all break up from each other, and so if you want to display each section in a different area in your house, say maybe you want the spiral hill there on your desk, or have the town hall on your coffee table, you can display the set however you want, together or separate, but I love that ability to change up the orientation. So we're going to take this one section at a time. So this is Town Hall or City Hall. This is basically where all the characters come together in the movie, as some of you probably will remember. And in the middle here, we have a fountain that has a little gargoyle here that's movable, and you can kind of pose him in different ways with some green goo underneath there. That's a nice detail. And then we have some nice little bits of rock here, a little skeleton head, and then this very nice dead tree. It looks really good, you got to admit. On the top of City Hall, you'll find a giant clock that kind of has a spider web kind of theme to it. Then under that, we have 35 days till Christmas. And then under that, we have a little Halloween style curtain. On the side here, this is one of your connection points to hook it up to the other middle section of Jack Skellington's house. And then there's also some nice column details there. Flipping this section around, you'll notice inside here we have a podium. This, of course, is for Jack Skellington to make his big announcement that the mayor has to tell everybody about. You definitely know the podium is meant for Jack because of how tall it is and because of how tall the minifigure is. Inside, you'll notice some benches on either side. We have an opening door here, some Indiana Jones whips acting as like candle lights. So there's some shield pieces up the top with some sticker details. Underneath in the basement here, well, we've got a skeleton that's seen some better days as well as a Christmas wreath. On the top side here, there's a hidden attic, if you'll call it that, utilizing some really well-designed roof pieces here. And there's some more Christmas details like presents and stockings and again another wreath with some spiders. Our next section is Jack Skellington's house, which is just a wild looking design from the movie, and when converted into a Lego set, well, I gotta say the execution here is fairly well done. Starting at the bottom, working our way to the top, we have a little pathway here that leads to this nice gunmetal gray gate. And then above that, we have some different skeletons representing maybe some different animals. And then off to the side here, we have these very well-designed curved walls that have an extreme amount of detail that you normally don't see in Lego sets. So that's definitely much appreciated from me. And then we have a little like fall foliage tree here off to the side with some nice orange leaves. Opening the gate to Jack's house will reveal a nice little kind of zigzagged pathway up to his house to the very front door that has just an eye looking at you, and it looks pretty wild. And of course, the door opens, revealing, just a little sack, actually, a little Santa's sack. And then on the opposite end, we have a little Christmas tree, which is again representing what we see in the movie. You can also get a top-down view just a little bit from this room. And it's also worth noting that this building is modular. The two sections separate. So here's the second floor, which is Jack Skellington's office, or really where he creates his experiments. And then there's a little like poster of him as Santa Claus. It's where he's doing his experiment to figure out the formula for Christmas and all of that jazz. So fun little details and Easter eggs can be found within here. We have a little skeleton head here at the top, a little pumpkin, as well as a spider hanging out. At the very top in the rafters, we have two wreaths identical on either side. And then as for how the roof is attached, it just kind of sits there. And believe it or not, it works pretty well. And I like this technique, while simple, works effectively. As for details on the exterior here, they're pretty minor, but it is worth noting that Lego does have some interesting fun snot techniques going on to give it a little bit more texture for Jack's house, even though it's, just black and gray. And finally, the last section is the spiral hill with the moon behind it. And this is my favorite part of the set. In fact, it sells the set to me, especially when you put Jack and Sally up there. Like that just, perfection. This could have been a Lego set on its own, in fact. But let's take a look at the bottom here at the graveyard with little Zero there and his dog house. It's so cute. And then we have some gravestones on either side, all of which are stickered, unfortunately. Not that many. This is honestly where a majority of the stickers go in this set. We have some jack-o'-lanterns here on either side. If we take one off, there's a little Easter egg. And on the opposite side, you can remove another gravestone, revealing another gravestone that is Deadly Nightshade, which is what Sally uses. Finally, we have the actual spiral hill. It's fairly simple. It's a pretty small, light build, but it has such a big impact on the set. It looks so well done. Now, purists out there might be a little upset with what Lego has done here. They've used this cardstock material for the moon here. It's actually, I think, the same material they used on the Polaroid camera photos. Now, some might argue that this should have been made out of Lego, the moon specifically, but I think the cardstock works just fine. In fact, Lego's been using alternative materials for big items like sails on pirate ships for years. Underneath the spiral hill, we have a little bit of details there, and I just gotta say, this thing is just so dang freaking captivating. Lastly, in terms of a comparison, I really only have one set in my collection that makes sense to compare the Nightmare Before Christmas set to, which is the Hocus Pocus Cottage. Now, this set is $230, so $30 more than the Nightmare Before Christmas set, has less minifigures, and a worse price per piece ratio. Now, this is really going to depend on what you're a fan of. If you're a fan of Nightmare Before Christmas set, then get that one. If you're a fan of Hocus Pocus, get that one. But if you're just a Halloween fan, well, the Nightmare Before Christmas set is really something special in my eyes. So for once, I can be pretty quick here at the end of the video and just recommend this set to you guys. I think you're getting a pretty great value here. 2,200 pieces, 8 unique minifigures, $200, that adds up pretty well together. Couple that with the fact you have 3 separate great builds, and then this build right here of Jack and Sally behind the moon, well, this is what really sells the set to me. Honestly, Lego probably could have made this in itself a set and sell this for like $50. Of course, they coupled this with the entire other section of the set, more minifigures, all that, and charges $200. You know, that's just Lego being Lego. But even with that said, you're still getting the town square, you're getting Jack's house. These are cool builds. They add to the whole, I think, diorama that Lego has going on here for the Nightmare Before Christmas set. The minifigure selection is quite excellent. My only complaint is that I wish Oogie Boogie was included in this. I rewatched the Nightmare Before Christmas movie while I was building this set, and honestly, it reminded me just how much of a prominent character he is. With that said, though, while I was watching the movie, I was also building this with my girlfriend, and there's 3 separate instruction booklets, which makes this set an excellent build for building with your friend, your girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, building with family. Especially if you're that type of person that loves celebrating Halloween and you want to do so with others, then Lego really has made an excellent set here. This is a significant improvement over the build experience from the Hocus Pocus set. I just think this set is, in general, a much better set than the Hocus Pocus set. Sorry, Hocus Pocus lovers, but this is the better Halloween set. Say what you will down in the comments below. So the bottom line here is I can recommend this set for $200. I think that's a fair price. It's not the greatest pricing in the world, but it's fair. It's a Disney licensed set, and I feel like you're gonna get a lot of value out of this. And I just gotta say, every time I look at this, my eyes are just drawn to this moon scene. Like, I love what Lego's done here. I think that's also worth something. I say that in a lot of Lego reviews when a set is that captivating that your eyes turn to it. It says a lot about the set. Well, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. You're gonna be picking this set up come September 3rd, not September 1st. Don't forget, there's a link down in the description if you wanna pick this one up. And I do wanna thank Lego for sending this set over for review. With that said, hope you guys have a great, wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.